Hello there. Welcome
Hello.
to the Counting of the Omer 2026. Let's start with the blessing. It says, Baruch
Baruch
atah
atah
Adonai,
Adonai,
Eloheinu
Eloheinu
melech
melech
haolam,
haolam,
asher
asher
kitshanu
kitshanu
b'mitzvotav,
b'mitzvotav,
v'tzivanu
v'tzivanu
al
al
separat
separat
haomer.
ha'omer.
It says,
Blessed
Blessed are
are
you,
you,
Adonai
Adonai
our
our God,
God, King of the universe, who sanctifies
sanctifies
us
us
with
with
your
your
commandments
commandments,
and has
has
commanded
commanded
us
us
concerning
concerning
the
the
counting
counting of
of
the
the Omer.
Omer.
So for today it says, Hayom Shemona Yamim Shehem Shavua Echad V'Yom Echad Leomer. Today is 8 days, which is 1 week and 1 day of the Omer.
All right, y'all ready? Got a little treat for you today. A good little nugget. Tonight with the ladies, I'm going to be doing a study out of John 14. And the very first verse. It's a small little study, and of course we won't post this until after I have that study with them. So all of you are getting to have a little bit of a taste of what the ladies are going to talk about tonight. But in John 14, verse 1, it says, Do not let your heart be troubled. Trust in God, trust also in me. And I always kind of found that statement a little odd. Trust in God, trust also in me. What is he referring to? What is he trying to say?
Well, it seems like the kind of trust, he's saying the kind of trust that you have in God,
God.
I want you to have the same kind of trust in me,
Yes.
which to somebody listening would think, are you making yourself equal to him? That's part of the whole question, part of the whole issue about his identity. Who exactly is he?
And what I found was that this does go back to the Tanakh. Okay, if you go to Isaiah chapter 26, verses 1 through 4, say this: In that day, this song will be sung in the land of Judah. We have a strong city. He appoints salvation as its walls and ramparts. Open the gates, let the righteous nation enter. No, one that keeps faith. You keep in perfect peace one whose mind is stayed on you, because he trusts in you. Trust in Adonai forever, for the Lord Adonai is a rock of ages. Now there we have trust in Adonai, trust in God, right? Well, the Targums, the Aramaic translation of the Tanakh, particularly in this case, Targum Jonathan, actually, this is what it says with these verses in Isaiah 26, 1 through 4 in the Targum. At that time they shall sing a new song in the land of the house of Judah. We have a strong city. Salvation and mercy shall be established upon her walls. Open ye the gates, and let the righteous nation enter, which have kept the law with a perfect heart. In a perfect heart they shall preserve peace. Peace shall be wrought for them, because they have trusted in thy word, in the Memra. Remember, John starts out with calling Yeshua the Word, i.e. the Memra.
Which had a long-standing Jewish
Yes.
thought already. The
And we
Memra
see that here in the Targum.
was well established as a concept long before any Greek or other type of philosophical concept of logos. The Memra, the word, was well established in Jewish thought.
And remember, back in the verses we read earlier in Isaiah 26, out of the Hebrew Bible, it said trust in Adonai. Here it's saying trusted in your word, in your Memra. And then in verse 4 it says, where it also said trust in Adonai, in verse 4 here in the Targum it says, trust ye in the word, in the Memra of the Lord, forever and ever. Thus ye shall be saved by the word. You shall be saved by the Memra, who is the fear of the Lord, the mighty one, to eternity. Okay? That is who he is. He is the fear of the Lord.
And so the Memra is the mighty one to eternity. I mean, that's sounds more like just a human being at that point now, doesn't it?
Don't be so sarcastic. All right, now I want to go And I'm not going to read the verses out of the Hebrew or the traditional Bible out of Psalm 115. I'm going to go straight to the Aramaic. I'm going to let you look those up. I'm going to be reading out of Psalm 115, 9 through 12. And having come right out of unleavened bread, this is one of the Hallel Psalms. So we have read this psalm this week. So it should be familiar to you. And this is what the Targum says in verses 9 through 12. Israel, trust in the word, trust in the Memra of the Lord. Their help and shield is he. Those of the house of Aaron, trust in the word, the Memra of the Lord. Their help and shield is he. Reverent of the Lord, trust in the word of the Lord. Their help and shield is he. May the Memra of the Lord remember us for good. He will bless the house of Israel. He will bless the house of Aaron. And then finally, in the last of the Hallel Psalms, in Psalm 118, 8 through 9 in the Targum, and actually this isn't, Psalm 115 and Psalm 118 are not coming from Targum Jonathan. I'm sorry. They're coming from the Aramaic Targum because Targum Jonathan doesn't have the Psalms. Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is the Aramaic Targum. Verse 8. It is better to trust in the word of the Lord than to trust in humans, to trust in man. It is better to trust in the word, the Memra of the Lord, than to trust in nobles. So when Yeshua is saying, trust in God, trust also in me, he's referring back to these ideas out of Isaiah and out of Psalms that the first century Jewish community interpreted as the Memra, as the word, which is who he is. So these were very familiar ideas to the disciples.
Yes. And there are so many people that I still hear today that say that, oh, John is a much later book. It's so far out there. It's much more esoteric. There's no way it represents first century thought. It's almost more Gnostic than it is Jewish. You know, so they label all of these criticisms on John, saying that it doesn't fit with the first century thinking. And yet it's actually older than that. It actually reflects Hebrew and Jewish thought from the century before. And that's just a sign of a lack of awareness of what the Targums have to say and the concepts that are already existing within Jewish thought and that John is drawing from.
And of course, how does God save? He saves through the Memra. He saves us through his word, through Yeshua. And so just a little bit of a taste of what the ladies are going to talk about tonight. I hope it's been a blessing to you.
With that, we shall sign off for the evening. May the Lord bless y'all and keep you. We'll look forward to seeing you maybe some Saturday at our regular services at 1 o'clock.
Shalom.
Shalom.